Welcome back to this special North Dakota Today, focused on thanking our veterans. Sponsored by Shooting Star Casino, Mahnomen and Bagley.
Rain or shine, the Honor Guard is on duty at the Fargo National Cemetery.
Their dedication needs to be recognized. And Jason Hicks, the commander of the United Patriotic Body's Honor Guard, is hoping more veterans step up and help out. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
You have definitely been a big part of why we are doing this show today. And I know we've visited before, but first let's tell people exactly what is the United Patriotic Bodies, and then we'll move into the Honor Guard that you guys formed as well.
Sure. The United Patriotic Bodies is an organization representing all the veterans groups in the Fargo-Moorhead area. American Legion, VFW, DAV, Vietnam Vets, etc. We meet once a month and talk about various veteran activities that we're doing and significant events throughout the year, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, things like that. In the spring of this year, we recognized that the cemetery was opening in the fall, and we thought we have to do something jointly because no organization can do this by themselves. So we formed a combined honor guard to conduct these ceremonies out at the National Cemetery.
You mentioned at the top, at least Lisa did, about you guys need help. How can people help support you and help out?
Contact your commander of your veterans organization and tell them you want to be part of the honor guard. Or they can get a hold of pretty much anyone involved with the veterans groups, and we'll put you to work.
Okay.
What would that entail then? If I'm part of the honor guard, what does that look like?
Well, we would get them sized up for a uniform. We do a short training session to learn the manual of arms, things like that with our rifles, and put them to work and plug them into the schedule whenever they can fit in.
So there's a lot of tradition that goes into the 21 gun salute. Do you guys, you said there's some training, do you guys practice?
Yes, we practice with the manual of arms, so you do it. These rifles that we use are 70 plus years old, and not everyone's familiar with them. So we give them a class on that and how to load it and fire it and whatnot. And the tradition of the rifle volley goes back to the time of the Romans. When you said 3 prayers over the graves of a fallen soldier, that's why we do 3 volleys.
Interesting.
And what's the significance of the 21 guns?
It's just 7 rifles and then a volley of 3.
Oh, got it.
21 gun salute is actually for heads of state and things like that. It's oftenly misquoted. It's a 3-round volley that we actually do. And it goes back to the Romans, like I said. So.
Okay, so also you said that you need help.
Yes.
Because when the cemetery started accepting and doing burials, there were dozens of people. I mean, tell me, how many funerals did you guys do just in the first month?
It was well over 30 in the first month of October. Our guys were there every day of the week, and then it spread, it opens at 10 o'clock in the morning and goes till 2. Well, anywhere in between there, they can have a ceremony. So it could be 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2, and be full all day, so.
I mean, that kind of goes back to the fact, too, where you said you guys needed help and combining the honor guards. When we're talking that many funerals, I mean, there would have been several in a week. You guys are really volunteering your time.
Yes, our guys currently are volunteering their time, and they're asked to get up there and everything. So it's quite an honor.
Lisa had kind of touched this at the top of the show, but who's eligible to be buried in the cemetery?
If you are a veteran meeting the criteria of in a period of active duty and honorable service, you'd be eligible for it. And they have specific criteria with the VA, and Andrew Guadalupe can explain that way better than I can.
The National Cemetery manager is going to be on the show a little bit later as well. Let's talk a little bit, too, about how many different organizations, because you all have your own honor guard as well, or most do.
Yes, for the most part, everyone has their own specific honor guard. There's 3 different VFWs. There's 3 American Legions. There's the Disabled American Veterans. There's the Vietnam Veterans of America. There's the AMVETS. Everybody has a different color guard. Well, our thought with the National Cemetery is that with one color guard, that's why we're all in these tan uniform or khaki uniforms. And that is significant because at one point, every branch of the service wore khaki. So we didn't have the Navy wears their little sailor hats, and the Army wears. We didn't have that. We decided with this.
So, I mean, how do you organize this many groups and this many, I mean, that's got to be quite the job.
It's much like herding kittens, is the best way I could put it, because everyone has various schedules and whatever. But we have a core group of guys that are very much available and willing to help out whenever we can plug them in. Things come up, but we have a good group of guys that are available to help with it.
Was everybody kind of on the same page as far as how you do this? We're talking different organizations. This is how we've kind of always done it.
Yes. For the most part, a military funeral, they're pretty standard on the way we conduct business. And we've all done so many of them. It was a pretty smooth transition. Now, our commands and everything, we kind of tailored that to our own group so everyone's on the same page. That's why we practice too.
And Chris already asked this, but one more time, if there are veterans watching that haven't already got involved with you guys, what should they do and how can they?
Contact the commander of their organization and they'll put them in contact with us, and we will gladly accept their help. Anyone that's willing to help us, we'll take them in a heartbeat.
You could use some more kittens.
Yeah.
Yeah, as always.
Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your continued service with the Honor Guard. It's really incredible. And seeing the video, it's been brutally cold out there.
Yes, it has
and you guys
been.
are still out there.
And we've been doing this for years and years. The National Cemetery is relatively new, but all of our organizations have done funerals in the wintertime and the miserable cold. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's such a short period of time that we're out there that it's well worth it. And probably 90% of these guys, we don't even know who they are, and it doesn't matter to us. We're there for them and their families. So
it's really awesome what you guys are doing. Thank you. Stay with us. Up next here on North Dakota Today, we visit with a veteran close to my heart.
We'll be back with more of our Veterans Special, sponsored by Shooting Star Casino, Monoman and Bagley.